Welcome back to Flint Creek Transport. My name is Justin. We got a lot of action today in front of me and behind me. Working on cleaning this area up. This is going to get new asphalt applied. This we asphalted quite a few years ago, and now we're kind of touching up the bad spots and putting down another coat. So you can see they milled here around the edges. There was a couple spots too that were kind of bad over around those tanks over there, and then there's a couple spots here they milled out that were bad, so they're putting in some patch, putting that in today. I guess they're coming back tomorrow hopefully to pave the whole thing. And check this out. So this is truck 159 pulling the Titan dump trailer. Polished Titan dump trailer, polished Titan walking floor right beside it. So this guy brought in a load of palletized. Here's the dock. He's empty. I think in the last video I mentioned about talking about tires, and that is the truck that I want to talk about. We're pulling that one out back. He's got to drop that trailer, but I want to go out there and I want to show you guys the tires and do a little tire update. This video, I just want to make sure that you guys know Michelin didn't pay me anything, Continental didn't pay me anything. This is simply trying to, analyze data, stuff that we're getting back, real world testing. This is no one giving me tires. This is no one paying me to say something. So this is just real world testing. This is the XDN2 that we typically run in our application. This has been a pretty solid tire for us. And I'll go over some numbers on what we get for miles out of tires. And that's what I typically look at is, so I look at how many miles am I getting out on a set of tires. So whether I'm running Continental, whether I'm running Michelin, and there's a lot of other ones. So actually we have, I'll just show you, there's some more. I think these came in on a used truck that we bought. These are Toyos. I'm not sure why those are off, other than maybe we had to buy them. But I almost think they came in off of a truck that we got. So anyway, I'm not opposed to trying different stuff, but we've tried some in the past, and the Michelin XDN2 has been a really good, solid tire for us. So that's why I've been pretty much throughout the last couple of years sticking with the Michelin. Just very consistent. It's not just about the miles, it's also about traction. There's a couple things that go into it. Traction, how often do I have to rotate my tires, or, uneven tire wear. And that's what we really notice with a lot of tires. Like Continental has some drives that do really well with traction, or they look very aggressive, but then they wear inconsistently. You get cupping, you get all kind of stuff. It's really hard to get a nice even wear out of them. So we've been able to get the best consistent wear out of these Michelin XDN2s. Now, in the last 2 years, things have changed. And I say changed is, let me show you Continental's tire that came out to kind of compete with this Michelin XDN2. I say compete with it, but I don't know. I don't know if it was specifically designed to go against it, but it looks somewhat similar. All right, before we get started, 125 made a presence. Believe it or not, guys, that truck I think is a 1999. Still a good looking truck. All right, so here's truck 150. This truck we put on Continentals. This is the Continental HDW2. I have my HDW2s all locked away right now. But anyway, this is basically what the tread looks like new. Gives you an idea. So they're at like 17, 18, 30 seconds. Right now they have over 100,000 miles on these. and they come new with 27 30-seconds. So gives you an idea where we're at with miles and how they're running out. These do need to be rotated. They're getting to that point where they need to be rotated because the front ones are a little bit more. They are a directional tread, but so far we've been just kind of rotating them and it hasn't been an issue. You can see it is somewhat directional, but so far what we can tell doesn't really make a difference when we rotate them. Truck 144 also had virgin tires on when I put that thing on the road. That thing had Michelin XDN2. The only difference, so these are 24.5 tall. That had 24.5 low pro on, and that one is completely run out. We put just over 200,000 miles on that truck, and we were able to get 205,000 miles out of a set. So truck 144 is not here right now, but it gives you an idea. So 205,000 miles out of a set of virgin tires, Michelin XDN2. And I know that there's going to be guys saying, oh, why I get 250, I get 300, I get 400. And that's okay. That's okay. But in our application, it's a little bit different. You know, here in New York State, we can legally run 102,000 pounds. We can run into Pennsylvania at 90, 95,000 pounds. We run heavy into Canada. And we do a lot of local delivery. So it's short term. That guy will run flatbed, he'll run Moffat delivery, does a lot of different things. So that truck probably isn't quite as much over the road as maybe even this one, but very similar. And again, every driver is a little bit different. Drivers do play a factor on how hard they get onto it, and how quickly they wear tires down. So I can see it between drivers. You know, sometimes some drivers will get more miles out than others. Others are just hard on it. I think if everyone had an automatic transmission, we'd probably get the best tire wear. But in our application, 205,000 miles out of a set of Michelins. And so now what I'm doing is on truck 144, there's still some tires that have a little bit of life left. So we're kind of just running those out. We're put on some spares. We swapped out a bunch. We put on some spares. And what we're going to do is put on a new set. It's really hard to get 24.5 low pros anymore. So we're going to swap that thing to 22.5 tall. So we're going to put 22.5 tall on that truck. And we're going to also put the HDW2, the Continental HDW2 on that one. And we're going to run a set. And he's going to be doing the same work. And we're going to see how he gets for miles on that. And same way with these trucks, you know, so now we're running these Continentals out, and then I have a couple sets of Michelins. We'll throw a set of Michelins on and see how they run out, and kind of go from there. But here's the big factor is the price. We'll get into the price a little bit later, actually. So let's go check out another truck. So this truck has 100,000 miles on those tires, and he's got to get to I'd love to see him get to 200,000 miles. And I have a truck that hit 200,000 miles on a set of HDW2s. So let's go look at where he's at. All right, guys, this is truck 154. This is a glider. This truck has the Continental HDW2s on. And put these on, I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but I put them on quite a while ago. I can get you the dates here. So we put them on in 2023, in late of 23. And you can see they're getting down there. There's not a lot of life left. It looks like these just got rotated. The back always wears out a little bit quicker. So there's still some life in there. There's not that much. They've probably got about 30 seconds maybe on some of those. So let me go look at the miles and figure that out and see what we're at. All right, guys, we are at 190,000 miles on this set. So we're close to the 205. Now, again, true comparison is this truck is going to get a set of Michelins on, and we're going to see how it runs out doing the same thing with a set of Michelins. This guy does run heavy. We run a lot of salt in the winter, 100,000 pounds going down the road. We do local delivery, we do mulch delivery. It's a combination of a lot of different things. One of the other things that I do have to take into consideration is the price. So the price difference between the Continental HDW2 and the Michelin XDN2 is well over $100. And that's where you start doing the math on these tires. You take that 100 over $100. You know, I won't give you the exact amount, but you start taking that difference, and then you got to take that times 8, and then you divide that out to your miles, and you know, you come up with something that is that makes these tires here very competitive. So the thing that I like about a cheaper tire, a cheaper cost tire up front, is every once in a while, especially with the fleet of however many trucks we have, is, you know, you hit something on the road and it destroys a tire. Doesn't happen often, but every once in a while, and then that loss is not so big. That's kind of where we're at. So far, I am very happy with these Continentals. So 190,000 miles. I truly do think that we're going to get another probably 8 to 10,000 miles out of this set. I know rotation makes a big difference when they get rotated. These have a bit of life left. The only ones that I'm concerned about are once we get in there. The inside ones are the only ones that are going to be getting down there. That one, you know, maybe at the next service is going to have to get changed out. But the rest of these are looking pretty good. So, you know, average, if we were watching it maybe a little bit closer, we would probably be right around that 200 or 205 mark. We'll throw a set of Michelins on them and we'll see what that does. So if I were you guys, my 2 cents is you got to do the numbers yourself. You know what you're running. Price out the Continental HDW2 and see where you come in at compared to the Michelin XDN2. And I will guarantee you that they're going to run out very, very similar. Very similar. So the more you rotate them, the more you watch that, the more life you'll get out of them. And for the price, the cost difference, I think you guys will be happy. Michelin is still, they still make a great tire. But in the trucking industry, you can't just go raise rates and get whatever you want for a price for trucking. You got to figure out how to do things a little cheaper, a little more efficient. So you look at all these efficiencies. You look at fuel economy. You look at tires. There's so many different things that you look at, and how can you operate cheaper than the next guy down the road? These tires are definitely a place to start. I know a few other guys, not many, but some of the guys that have these tires. We're still waiting to hear how they're going to run out for those guys, but I think it's a fairly new tire. It is kind of weird too. Like, I don't know in the South how they would wear out, but here in the North, you know, it says Canada and it's a winter MS. So that stands for mud and snow. I'm guessing that you could run them in the South. You definitely wouldn't need such an aggressive tread. I mean, they are fairly aggressive when they're new, but for here in the snow, I mean, the driver feedback on these tires is driver loves them. They're a great tire. Traction was always good. And, you know, we're in September now. So he might go another month and a month or two, and it'll be perfect time to get him into a set of new tires. So that's a little tire update. Hopefully that information helps you guys out in making decisions. And it's, you know, I am open to trying out a lot of different tires, and I know a lot of guys hit me up, but typically what you hear, you know, I go to truck shows, I go here, go there, you know, and you see what other guys are running. You know, we are in a unique application, and you know, if there's a tire out there really, you know, making waves, you hear about it. And this is one that I kind of stumbled across. I've ran a similar Continental before, and that's why I was not as afraid to try a set of these. Those Continentals I did not like. Continental did stand behind them. They came back, they credited us and on all that. But when I was at their show down in Texas, when they flew us down to do the ride and drive and to see all their tires and stuff down there, is when I came across these HDW2s, and that was the first I've ever seen them. and ordered a set. I said, let's try it out. So that's kind of how it all started. We're gonna continue. I have a couple more sets of these. I have some Michelins. We're gonna keep comparing, and all the trucks that are running Continentals are gonna get Michelins, and all the Michelin the trucks that are running Michelins are gonna get Continentals. And just as a side note, up front, we do run Continentals, and there again, miles on the Continentals and the Michelins are within 10,000 miles, but one costs over $100 a tire more. So it's like, I'm going with the Continentals. They run out better. Look at that shiny blue rig. Guys, don't be afraid to let me know below in the comments what you guys run for tires. And then maybe I'm missing out on something. If I see someone that says, I ran Goodyears and this is the tire to run, but consider I'm in the heavy haul application. We need traction for the winter. We need something that's going to handle weight. So 16 ply tire. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.